Good morning, everybody. I wanted to share something I've been working on for a while. And as you can see in the dashboard, it's up on the screen right now. What we have been doing is actually harvesting information from old projects to try to help feed some database uh, entries that then we can in turn actually pull back into current projects to leverage for abbreviations or departments, autocomplete stuff to try to help streamline and make our data more efficient and more effective. So one thing we did is we built a standalone harvester that actually sits on a virtual machine and you can just feed it paths. So we feed it directory paths that might be from our stuff. And once you feed it path and you submit it, then what that actually does is it writes an entry into a database. And that entry actually kicks off a process on that virtual machine where Revit just stays open and listens for an updated path. Once that path is found, then Revit just automatically goes and hunts for projects. And you can see here so far we have basically fed it 99 different projects. Out of the 99 projects we fed it, which date all the way back to 2009 in terms of version year of Revit, there's been 321 models that it has processed. Out of those 321 models, there was a little over 18,600 rooms, 10.6 million square feet of rooms within those projects, almost 12,000 departments in terms of entry has, that was put into the room. And then from all that information, we're able to distill 3,700 plus distinct room names and about 258 distinct department names. So from those pieces, we actually then was able to kind of learn from that data stream and kind of iterate through and find some similarities and find the pieces that we wanted to be different. And out of all that, we were able to distill 53 common room abbreviations and 127 common distinct department names. Now, this is obviously still, a process. We will continue to learn. This will continue to grow. We'll add things to it. Um, but the nice thing about being able to have these in a table that's basically learning off of this data set is that this will continue to grow. And we've actually linked that data information in a live scenario or a current scenario to our Revit models. So you'll see here, if I go back into Revit, I'm just going to draw four walls here to find a room to. I'm going to place a new room here. And you'll see what we have done is we've tied a new room to this dialog box. Now in here, we can type obviously what we want. So this helps facilitate the user entering the information we'd like them to enter when they add a new room. And I'm going to kind of do a unique room name here just so I can show power this a little bit more. So mechanical equipment assistant office. Now, what we've done is we've actually tied those abbreviations that we've got from room names in the back end. We've actually tied that here. And so once you kind of, so to speak, enter this piece and go to this next row, you're going to see it's going to try to go through and find automatically an abbreviation for any word in that list that it can. So once I click here, you can see it did mech equip assist off. And those are the abbreviations that we've decided currently anyways will work for those room names. And the reason we do this is because we like to keep the full names in our schedules. And then we use abbreviated names for room tags if they get too long or don't fit on plan very well. Obviously, room number, you can select that. And then the departments that we mentioned, 153 distinct departments, you can see if I try to pull this drop down reads what's currently being used in the project. So this is our base template, so nothing's currently being used here. But if I start to type, you'll see that now I get autocomplete options. Those autocomplete options are being driven from those 153 distinct um, departments that we found by sorting through our old data. So I can go ahead and hit mechanical here. And then let's just say program area 2. Doesn't really matter for this case. So once I hit all right there, you'll now notice that obviously that's what it names it. If I grab this room and scroll through the properties, you can see there's the full name, there's an abbreviated name. So we capture the program area initially. And if I go back and change this room tag to one of our abbreviated tags that we want to make a little bit shorter, let's say, now I have that Mechanic Equipment Assistant Office, but in an abbreviated form. So that's just one way we're kind of closing the loop on our data. When we harvest old models, we're sorting through all that. That's in a cloud-based database, Postgres, and we're pulling that information through, and then we're actually pulling it down into Revit and using it to then make autocomplete or suggestions based on the data that we've learned from. And then once we go back through this process, then we'll continue to feed those options in the cloud on future models, present and future models, as we give it more information to feed. So again, I just kind of wanted to walk through what we've been up to. It doesn't seem like a very big thing, but there's been a whole lot of effort that's gone into making all those things work. And as we've kind of got this all tied together, now we can really start to leverage it for, you know, room names and common areas or typical areas for things. What departments go with what room names. There's a whole bunch of different ways to start slicing the data now that we have it, and then we can just continue to feed our monster, and it'll continue to give us additional information and insights as we move forward. So anyways, not really a whole lot of here's how to help you do it, but this is just one way we're approaching our big data strategy and leveraging it to help our users make better decisions and be more consistent in their data strategy. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thanks.